Okay, we're back.
Welcome to Trenny and C. This is our first episode as the house whiskey reviewers for theoldmanclub.com.
That's right.
How's that feel?
Feels pretty good. Does that mean we're old men now, or?
Well, I mean, our hair's falling out faster than we can transplant it, so yeah, I'd say so.
It's true. It's some silver fox on the side here.
Yeah, looking
Sorry.
good.
Whatever.
So, what do you have?
Distinguished.
Yes. What do you have for us today?
We have something extra special. We have the 150th anniversary of Jack Daniels. So I think you guys should probably stick around and find out what we think about this bad boy.
Trenny and C, drinking whiskey, describing all the flavors for you and me. Irish, Scotch, bourbon, and rye. If they like a bottle, they'll tell you why. Alright, welcome back to Trenny and C. So that we're not rude, we should probably introduce ourselves.
I'm Trenny.
I'm C. That's where it ends.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah. So, why did we choose Jack Daniels' 150th anniversary as our first bottle? Well,
Why?
Well, good question. Thanks for asking.
You're welcome.
Because it's a classic, Jack Daniels, the old number 7. I mean, what better bottle to pick as your first review for theoldmanclub.com?
I agree. It's it's associated with being distinguished and gentlemanlike. So why the hell not?
Just like this club.
Yeah.
All right. So what we do here at Trenny and C is we review whiskeys, not just Tennessee, not just bourbons. We get into Scotch, Irish, Canadian, Japanese, Taiwanese.
If they basically distill a spirit that is in the same context as whiskey, we do it.
We'll drink it.
Yeah.
We will drink it and tell you if we like it.
Yeah.
What's unique to us is we have a unique scoring system.
Mm-hmm.
For every bottle, we look at what?
We look at the color, the nose, the taste, and the finish, and the viscosity.
So what we do is we score each of those 5 categories separately.
That's right.
On our own scale. Before we do our review, we score it individually, and then
We don't cheat off each other's with notes or anything like that.
Everything's done separately so that we can get an individualized kind of look at each bottle, and then we combine those numbers and we give basically an average or a total score.
And the score ends up becoming out of 33.33%.
Yeah, so that's a little bit unique. Most scales that you're used to for wine or for whiskey are up to 100. Ours is a little different because we weight each of those categories, and we give a little bit less weight to color because it can be manipulated,
That's
right? In some whiskeys, for that matter.
Yeah.
And viscosity because it has less impact on the spirit than...
Less people care about viscosity. Let's be honest.
Yeah, mouthfeel isn't really as important as taste.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're always going to look at color, nose, taste, finish, and viscosity. So...
keep that in mind.
Yeah. So should we get right into this?
I think we should get into it for sure. So again, we always check out the color. With bourbons or Tennessee whiskeys, which we will talk about, they don't add any extra color into them. So this is 100% natural color straight from the charred barrel. This guy, compared to the regular Jack Daniels, it's been said that they use a little bit higher of a char on the barrel. So it might give
maybe
it
a number 4 on that bad boy?
Maybe a number 4. Gives it a little bit more of a darker color.
So I called this, my personal opinion was a deep dark bronze.
Yes, that's very accurate.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, if you get a little look at that there, see if you agree with that.
Yeah, bronze, that's got that golden, beautiful light in it. It captures the light really well.
Yeah, Jack Daniels almost has a red tinge to it at times too, depending on the light kind of hitting the bottle there.
Exactly.
So, should we mention before we get into the other categories about the difference between Tennessee whiskey and bourbon?
Yeah.
There's not much.
There's not much difference.
It's really kind of legalities more than anything, and Jack Daniels was the company that basically came up with the idea of creating Tennessee whiskey, which
still follows the same rules about new age oak barrels, 51% corn in the mash bill, same as bourbon. Really, the only difference in Tennessee whiskey is that it needs to be made and produced in Tennessee.
And I think the thing that distinguishes Jack Daniel's in their marketing campaign is that it's filtered through a maple charcoal filtration sort of system, so it drips through the charcoal first.
And that's pre-aging.
Yeah, and that could partly have something to do with the color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, should we nose this thing then?
Let's do this. Jack Daniel's always kind of has this classic. You could probably put it in any glass, line it up to anything, and if you know Jack Daniel's well enough, you'd be like, yeah, that's Jack Daniel's for sure.
And why is that?
It's got the banana and glue nose to it. And I've said it before, you could probably see the same old thing in other videos, but it does. This one, I don't find it as heavily as the original number 7.
Yeah. And I totally agree. I know it sounds ridiculous, but yes, Jack Daniel's has a distinct banana in it, and it's that alcohol that gives it that kind of gluey note to it. Mm-hmm. But it has more traditional nose to it as well, like the nutmegs, the vanillas, brown sugar.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of cinnamon in the nose.
Yeah, but as you said, this bottling, the 150th anniversary. And it's the 150th anniversary of the distillery, which was 1866 to 2016. So this is a limited release, but what the hell was I talking about there?
Well, basically, I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but it is one of they've released a couple versions of the 150th.
That's what I was going with, that this is very similar to basically the old number 7.
It's the same recipe and everything, it's just bottled at a higher strength, so this is 43%, or what do they call that, 86 proof, and that's basically the only real difference. The thing is it's a limited release, and it's kind of meant to be a collectible item, so grab it, buy it, store it away, take a couple for yourself. They're not unreasonably priced by any means, so yeah, we should probably taste this stuff.
Yeah, let's get into it. And the other thing is it just is that distinct Jack Daniel's nose.
Yeah.
And it's also got that distinct Jack Daniel's flavor.
Absolutely. It's even though it's bottled at a little bit higher strength, it's very manageable on the palate. It's not harsh in any ways. I guess if you could say it's a little rough around the edges, it's just because hasn't been aged very long. Yeah. It's been aged to the same standards as any straight bourbon whiskey, which is 2 years. So, but it could be aged longer.
It's like you said, mellow, easy drinking. To me, it has a bit of a strong almond flavor up front. There's a sweetness to it, almost a molasses in there.
Definitely.
And
brown sugar.
Yeah, and then that's where that Jack Daniel's banana comes in for me. Just a little banana split going on there.
Exactly. I was going to say ice cream. So I find the banana and ice cream in Jack Daniel's, that kind of creaminess, it's really up front with this one. It kind of starts at the front of the palate with that banana and a little slight glue, which we say glue like it's a bad thing, but it's not, because you find that kind of Elmer's glue a lot in bourbons, and it's actually quite a pleasant flavor.
It's a good glue. That glue you used to eat. Eat and love.
When you're a kid, yeah. There is a sour kind of thing to it, a little bit citrusy, but not too much. It's more on the savory side of fruit, like banana. Yeah.
So let's get into the finish.
Okay.
Bit of oaky bitterness to me on the finish. That's where I get the oak usually.
Definitely, we have aged a spirit in oak barrels before, and it's a really good thing to do to see what that oak influence is. And you can definitely taste the oak in Jack Daniel's, even though it hasn't been in there long, but it does have that pronounced flavor.
And then I also get a bit on the finish, a bit of a walnut thing going on.
Yeah.
There's definitely a nutty influence to Jack Daniel's for me.
I was thinking it's like Honey Nut Cheerios, where it has kind of that nutty thing, but it's got a cereal grain to it, and it's... So the finish
I won't argue with that.
Kind of fades. You're welcome to. You're welcome to argue.
And I will. I'm okay with you on that one.
Cool.
Viscosity. Are you ready for viscosity, or are you still drinking it?
Well, viscosity is kind of equal to mouthfeel and how much when you put water into the glass, which we haven't mentioned. You should put a little bit of water into your whiskeys after you've kind of got to know it a little bit, because it does bloom the flavors, and usually it doesn't drown it. Jack Daniel's doesn't need a ton of water because
it's already low strength.
Low strength. But
they've already watered it down enough.
Yeah, that's true. So the viscosity kind of comes with that. If you add a little bit of water, you can see the swirlingness and the thickness of the liquid, and some are a lot more syrupy than others. This isn't sickly syrupy.
No. But it has that same classic number 7 taste to it with a little bit more heat, and you kind of get that heat rolling down the back of your throat there as you finish it off.
Essentially, this is made in the exact same process as old number 7, just bottled a little bit higher, and specialty bottling, which is always cool.
Yeah. So, anything else we want to bring up about this particular bottle? Uniqueness? Anything about Jack Daniel's that we should cover here? Are we missing anything?
I'm sure there's plenty. I'm sure you people out there can tell us.
You can tell us what else we're missing. Yeah. But for the most part, there are other versions of this. You know, I think there's the higher strength version. It's released a little bit differently in each country. Some of the bottles are 700 milliliters, a little bit smaller bottling. In Canada and the US, we get the 750. So that's
privileged.
Better. Yes, slightly more privileged.
Yeah.
But there are commemorative issues with a big box and all that.
They go full out on some of them, and some of them are bottled at 50%. For you Jack Daniel's collectors out there, it's a nice thing to put in the collection because there's just so many that you can buy.
Yeah. So and this one, like I said, it's got a kind of a cool label on it. It's got a little bit of information on it. Not a lot, but it's something different.
And I will say this, Jack Daniel's is still probably widely used as something to mix in Coca-Cola or is mixed drinks. And that's totally fine with this one. It is very mixable. But I've always found Jack Daniel's quite pleasant to drink straight. So
fine,
just try it.
All right, we better get on with the
score out of 33. So go ahead.
No, you go.
I gave it a 24.91 out of 33.33. C gave it a 25.58.
I like it.
Which in turn gives it a 25.25.
Okay, so what we're going to do, that's 25.25.
Yeah.
Here at Trenny and C, we are going to be keeping a little chart. Yes, we stole the idea from Top Gear, but that's fine. So you're going to need to move over just a little bit. There you go.
There we go. I probably can't even see me, I bet.
Good. All right. So we got our Old Man Club chart here.
Yeah.
We're working with a clean slate right now. We got a Sharpie anywhere? Can you grab me a Sharpie up there?
Yeah, absolutely.
What did we say our score was?
25.25.
25.25. Well, Jack Daniels, since you're the only thing we've reviewed so far, you're going to get top billing on the board there.
Yeah.
At 25.25. Each week as we review a new whiskey, we will rank them. We'll start moving the order up and down depending on quality, and that's going to give us a clear winner at the end of the season here to tell you who's got the best score.
And it gives you guys a better idea of where you want to throw your money when you're buying whiskey.
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of measure them against each other. You can see where your scotches are landing, where your bourbons are landing, etc., etc. Anyway.
So check out the oldmanclub.com. We are on there every Thursday at most likely around 6 p.m.
We're going to release a new review each week, something different. You can also check out Trenny and C. You can hit the subscribe button down here, and that'll give you the opportunity to see some of our other videos that are out there. But mostly just show up at theoldmanclub.com, and we'll be there each week.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Trenny and C.